Hello, New York Giants fans. Welcome back to Everything New York Giants podcast with your host, me, New York Giants fangirl, Adriana. I'm super excited. I got 2/3 of the New York Revival gang here today. Super excited to have you guys. Thanks for joining me. Go ahead, do a quick little intro, tell everyone about Revival for those of them who don't know. Then we're going to talk Giants.
Oh, listen, I'm gonna just defer this right over to Hefe, can I? Or if you don't mind, that is, brother.
New York Revival is led by Eli Rax. He's the star. He is the MC. He is truly the electricity of this show. Eli Rax, myself, El Jefe, and Mr. Glass Half Full. He's Spiro. So the three of us are New York Revival. It's not just sports, it's entertainment. So we will interview hip hop stars or people in the media, ex-professional athletes, anybody, and we just have a ton of fun. Like that is just the underlying theme of all our shows is we laugh, we break balls, we have fun, we talk football, we show funny videos, we do a little bit of everything, but New York Giants is home base for us. Make no mistake. That is how we met. That's still the base of our show, and then we just branch off from there. So we're just about having a good time pretty much.
Now, let me piggyback off that because that was just so nice, man. But guys, don't be naive to this gentleman here. If you don't know who he is, you've been living under a rock here, all right? This is El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, a.k.a. Blue Jersey, a.k.a. Damn it, Daniel. He does it all. So you want to talk about the leadership here, it's got to be my guy, El Jefe, man. And, of course, with Mr. Glass Half Full and that speed. If you nasty now, all right? But this is New York Revival, man. Like you said, it's our bread and butter, right? So it's not just sports, it's entertainment, man. But I had to piggyback that, man. This guy, come on.
You see how Eli's, you can see how Eli's the star. Like you can see how this happens, right? Like that's hard to do.
Character energy, big time.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I get it from these guys. Man. We're all equally bosses, I guess you could say. We'll say that. All right. That sounds good, brother.
Yeah. We are so unprofessional, and I think that's our charm. That's our charm. That's our charm is that we don't have the best production by any means. No. Half of our stuff is unscripted and just we don't have show notes. We just put the mic on and go. And you get that feeling because the show is always falling off the rails, and then it comes back full circle every time. It's just we just have a lot of fun. Adriana, is this show going to be like video too or just audio?
It'll be on video too.
Oh wow.
On the old YouTube.
The old YouTube. I've heard
the old YouTube, man. YouTube.
That's how professional I am. I asked that question 3 minutes into the show that we're actually doing.
Yeah, maybe I should have warned you beforehand.
I wouldn't have done anything different. I was just curious. Okay. Yeah. It's all good.
Perfect.
Again, I'm sorry. Right. Adriana, do you think?
So I want to talk about the game on Friday because the Giants walked out of MetLife with a win. My biggest question is for Jeff is you probably don't have any material for Damn It Daniel this week, do you?
No. I mean, no. His only incompletion was a drop because Waller got pops, and that's going to happen from time to time. It's good defensive play. Jones was perfect. What else? Yeah. What else do you like? That was exactly. I mean, it's so rare for us as Giants fans to be like, wow, that was pretty much best case scenario, how that first drive went, how the starters looked. But it was. Daniel Jones looked sharp. Every throw was a dart. He was accurate. He maneuvered in the pocket a little bit differently than we've seen, head downfield, but moving his feet. Like, I liked everything I saw. And it was finally seeing, what he's done in camp brought to the field with some live bullets. And Waller is as advertised. So I saw enough in that game to feel good about the season, like we've been saying, but like that hit home, I think, for a lot of people to see them do that in live action.
Yeah. And I think what's great about it is I walked out of that being like, we didn't run the ball. So we didn't even get to see Saquon, which obviously was for the best. We don't want to see him in preseason. We know what he can do, but we didn't see guys like Shep and Wandale. Like there's still so much that we didn't see from this offense. And obviously it's one series. It's not all that much, but I think there's still a big surprise and excitement factor of like, that's the tiniest bit of what we're going to see from the offense this season.
Eli, go. What'd you like?
Oh, no, listen, man. I mean, to piggyback off Daniel Jones, right? I mean, you want to talk about perfect, right? That's exactly what you need to see with him. I'm not sure if it was Carolina's ones, to be honest with you, but you want to see him beat up on a team that's lesser than. Because let's be honest, right? Do we see Carolina going anywhere this year? I don't. I really don't have them like, oh, these guys are playoffs. I don't. So you want to see those guys like Daniel Jones whoop on teams like that, in lack of a better word. You know what I mean? And he showed that. Look at Waller's exactly that guy. We even said, yo, we're going to see a little bit of Bellinger. And guess what? He scored a freaking touchdown. You know what I mean? So to see that offense actually come, and then not only that, a little kudos to the offensive line too, right? Because they held up pretty well. You know what I mean? As far as that first unit. So you got to give credit where credit's due. But just seeing that from Daniel Jones and that offense is like, okay, ooh, I'm looking at my chops, man. What else? What else you got there? So, and like you said, they didn't unleash anyone else as far as Shep. Shep looked amazing out there. Like the first couple of series he had with the second unit, which that's another story. It's just he looks great. So just imagine if he does make that team and etc. You still got Shep in there. You still got Wandale that's going to come back. So a lot of stuff can happen, man. Like I said, I just love that drive. I love one and done. Score the touchdown, get the hell up out of there. Perfect for me.
Yeah, after that drive, what else do you need to see? There is no reason to even go back out there because you stop there, you guarantee they go into the next week confident and healthy. So like that's the goal of a preseason tune-up. So I mean, they only went in one drive, like 4 minutes, done. But 75-yard touchdown. Goodbye. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good night.
It was awesome.
I love it.
I think it gave all of us a little bit of like, all right, we like you said, you know, we've seen this all during camp, but until you actually see it on the field during a game, preseason or not, you kind of need that reassurance, right? And someone else I forgot about is Slayton. We didn't see him out there either. But I don't know if you guys watched the Eagles Browns game the night before, but after that game, I was like, oh my God, we can't play the starters. They had 5 injuries, 2 guys wheeled off on stretchers. It was so scary that after every catch with Waller, I was like, call it, Dable, get him off the field. We can't run this risk. Like, I was panicking. So I would be a terrible coach because I'd be like, I'm saying to my husband, who's like not even paying attention, I'm like screaming at the TV. I'm like, get that Waller off the field. I've seen enough. And then I'm like, if I were Joe Shane, I would just go back to Saquon and be like, this game is so violent. Just take the $2 million. It's fine. We don't care. It doesn't matter. It's just money. Like, as long as you stay healthy, we don't care.
When players drop like that in preseason, it just sucks. That's the worst case playing out is that they need the work, get the reps, and then they're gone. And like it could happen to any player on any play. And that's what's crazy about the NFL.
Yeah.
We just got to hope that at least the universe is kind of siding with the Giants this year when it comes to injuries, right? Like, we just got to hope. We got a new field. We got a new GM. We got a new coach. Like, that just has to spin a little bit for us, which I'm hoping for. So I'm just thinking like, all right, listen, the universe got to work for us, man. No injuries. Let's just get through the season, very minimal injuries as possible, and win this damn thing. That's all I'm looking forward to. And the depth is trash.
Yep. We shouldn't be tempted by Aaron Rodgers playing a drive or two. Like, no, it's the risk is not worth the reward there. Just Dallas is what matters, and we'll worry about Aaron Rodgers later. So, yeah,
agreed. I think that Dable is not going to play the starters. I hope that he saw what he needed to see. From what I've seen from some of the beat writers, it sounds like just because Rodgers playing isn't going to change anything. So I'm going to hope that it stays that way. So we have cuts coming up. So I want to hear from you guys. If you were Joe Shane, who would you cut right now?
Oh my God.
For me, it's got to be Corey Cunningham. I cannot watch him on the field anymore. I have seen enough, and it is not good.
You know, like,
who was my... Yeah.
I'd say like Darnay Holmes is a guy that has been driving people crazy, but he seems to always be on the field too. So if he's gone, are you going to miss having a body? Like, sometimes you just need a guy, and I don't know, like he's getting beat a lot, but if you don't have a better replacement, I don't know what you're going to do there. So this is tough, man. There's a ton of people. The receiver room specifically is going to be the toughest to narrow down, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you was to look at this game like the entire preseason, right? I'd be like Parrott, right? Like Matt Parrott, man, I don't know what the hell. You can't figure it out on the right. You can't figure it out on the left. It's like, bro, the next thing you got to figure it out is the unemployment line. You know, at this point, you know what I mean? Like, you're just watching him struggle play after play after play after play. It's just like, when's enough? But however, you know he's probably going to make the roster because we're so thin there. You know what I mean?
Right.
At this point, it's like, who else can we put there? So, but just watching him is just like, man, it's like pulling the rest of the hair that I have left on my freaking head, which there's none at all. All right, people, which is none at all. You know what I mean? This is pulling the last little bit of strand out. Just watching him play because he's just struggling out there. He goes back to his old techniques. He doesn't move his feet well. His technique is just Pert, that would be the guy for me if I had the depth, of course, to make this happen. It'd be Pert.
I'd rather sign a free agent and get rid of these failed projects, right? Like Marcus Peters is looking for a job. I'd rather take a 40-year-old who's been there and done that and has seen every blitz possible and can help lead. Give me that over Parrott, or if you're looking for depth.
They can do better than Parrott, man. I think, like you said, Hef, give me a veteran. Even if he lost a couple steps, I think it's better than Parrott. Like, I think it's better than Matt. You know what I mean? At this point, unfortunately. But now we just got to wait until the cuts and see. But I just think any option, because, again, you moved him throughout the line. So at some point, you got to be like, something got to stick, bro. Like, you got to figure this out. Something has to work for you, and nothing is working. Deuces, get up out of here.
You were drafted to be an offensive lineman, and you just don't work anywhere on the offensive line. So, unfortunately, you're not athletic enough to try you anywhere else. This might be the end of the road for you.
Yeah. I think that would be fair. I'm with you guys, though. The depth is definitely concerning, but there's been a lot of talk from Giants fans, and apparently he is open to coming back. Do you see any scenario in where Joe Schoen brings back Justin Pugh?
I've heard these rumors too.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got left in the tank. I'm not against
it. He's coming off an injury.
Was it an ACL?
Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, he was a starting offensive lineman for years after he left the Giants. So it's not the player or the person that I'm against. It's just a matter of what he's got in the tank. And if they evaluate him and they're like, oh, he's still got juice left and he would be an upgrade over all these guards we have, I'm not opposed to it. I want the best offensive line we can possibly put together. But you're also a couple weeks out now. So chemistry matters on the O-line. So it sucks because they keep rotating guys. They can't find the 5. They can't find a home for the guards. So I'm not against it, except for the fact that he's an old injured veteran, which is usually not the best idea.
And listen, the money better be right. You know what I mean? He better not come in and demanding like $3 million. Like, no. Listen, go take this vet minimum. Let's see what you got, and hopefully another team can pick you up for the following year. You know what I mean? At this point. So, I'm not against Justin Pugh coming back. I just want to make sure the money's right, and I just think it's just another alternative. And still, to this day, I still think Matt Peart will still be there. He just still will be there. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, go ahead, F.
No, you're on a roll. Go.
Let me ask this for the room, if you don't mind. And I'm just I'm not taking over your show. Please forgive me.
Here he goes.
Forgive me. I just do this I don't know why it comes to me. I do it on the show.
You can't help the main character energy.
Well, thank you for that. But let me ask you this. The fact that we're seeing all these pieces rotated throughout the lines, and it doesn't seem like anyone's getting better, lack of a better word, is it the coach at this point, or is it the player? Like, just watching this over and over. And Adriana, please, you're the smartest one in here. We're not going to pretend that New York Revival that we're these smart guys. We're not.
That's not who we are. Yeah, that's definitely not why people tune in.
Definitely not. You know what I mean? So, is it from your opinion? Is it the coaching, or is the players are really that bad as far as drafting?
For me, it's probably, I want to lean towards the players only because I think Bobby Johnson has done a really good job with someone like Evan Neal. John Michael Schmitz already looks really good. He's only been working with Bobby Johnson in the last few months since he's been here. But someone like Joshua Ezeudu, I mean, he's coming off an injury, so he didn't get a lot of playing time. Like, I also think when it comes to Peart, Cunningham, Davis, like, I think for them, the bigger thing is talent. I think if someone like Evan Neal can't improve, if Joshua Ezeudu can't improve, then I think it's the coaching, because we've seen other guys on this team who are not number 1 round level talent, but who are playing really well, like Isaiah Hodgins, like Jason Pinnock, so maybe with those guys, it is more of a talent thing versus the coaching. But I think you could probably make an argument for a lot of them that it's a little bit of both.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, it's easy to coach more talented guys, right? Like there's probably only very few offensive line coaches that could just take any group and make them effective. You know, like Andrew Thomas has been an absolute rock star. So Bobby Johnson has been coaching him too. So like you got to give credit some places, and maybe the guards just aren't talented enough, and he's trying his best to make it work. So I don't know if there's a coach out there that can turn Izudu into the guy we hoped he would become, but hopefully it happens. We could use a guard.
Yeah.
Use a whole lot.
Like the job is yours if you want it. Apparently you don't want it. You're
Doesn't seem like it.
That's why I would be on board with vet minimum for Justin Pugh, because let's just bring him in, see what he's got. He's another body. He has to be better than Wyatt Davis. Like, I just cannot believe that there's no way that Justin Pugh's not better than him, and anyone is probably an upgrade over Davis. So whoever wants to take a vet minimum, just bring him in. Just whoever wants to come in, try it. And another guy too that I want to talk about just briefly is Marcus McKethan, because he was drafted last year, offensive lineman. I'm pretty sure he's a guard, but he hasn't really played at all, and he just came off the PUP list last week. So I was hoping we were going to see him against the Panthers, but he didn't play. So I'm curious if we see him this week, but I am hopeful that maybe he's got a little bit of potential and can be better than some of these other guys. Because,
and I guess what the coaches do will tell us all we need to know. The fact that they keep rotating tells us that no one is stealing the job, right? And if I think, why not have Justin Pugh in for a workout? You don't have to pay him to do that, right? You don't need a contract to work the guy out or see if he would be a fit. Because if he does have another year or two in him, that's a good veteran that can help coach these guys. Who was the guard that we had a couple years ago? And I think he either came from the Ravens or went back to the Ravens, but he was like
I know exactly what you're talking about. Damn it. He was the one that was
Zeitler?
doing
Is it Zeitler?
with his Zeitler. He was doing the drills with his wife.
I thought he was a solid. He was a solid guard, and we paid people instead of, like, we let him go, and he went on to continue to be a solid guard. So you got to know when you have something and keep it around at the same time. So, you know, replacing those guards, it shouldn't be this hard. Like you should be able to find a couple guards or develop your own. So we're a little bit stuck right there. And it's going to matter this year. You know, 3 out of 5 is good, but 4 or 5 out of 5 is much better.
Yeah. I think that's how the math goes.
Yeah, it's a little late in the day. This isn't my math hour, but
yeah.
The hog always, right? We'll blame Dave Gettleman for this one.
Blame him for everything. When in doubt.
Exactly.
I had this conversation with someone the other day where there's been a lot of talk about Jordan Riley, 7th round draft pick who comes in, gets snaps with the ones as a defensive tackle. I think everyone probably had very limited expectations for him, except for maybe Wink. But I just look at this draft class alone and the amount of playing time that every single player is getting and the amount of them that are starting. I just am like, I don't ever want to hear Dave Gettleman's name mentioned positively again. Like, he has never, regardless of what happens with this draft, like, I think they're on pace to be really good. Same with the guys they drafted last year. But I'm just like, even if 50% of these 2 draft classes hit, Joe Shane is already light years ahead of Dave Gettleman, and it's not even a conversation.
That conversation needs to end, giving Gettleman any credit, because the only late round pick he hit on was Darius Slayton. If you want to consider that a hit, right? Like, he's been a serviceable wide receiver. Let's be honest. He's not a fucking rock star. He's a serviceable wide receiver. So yeah, Gettleman hit on top 10 picks year after year. That is the easiest pick. You have your choice of position every single year, right? So, like, don't give him credit for a hit for making the easy one. Like, the GM makes his money in the later rounds when it gets harder, and like that's.
But also, the amount of 1st round picks that he fucked up is ridiculous. Like Kadarius Toney, Matt Pert. I think there was another offensive lineman who. Yes, these are all 1st round picks that are atrocious.
Atrocious is right.
And not only that too, right? You start to look at O'Shea Zimenez, like all these late ones, right? Like, you start to see that all the people that he picked, even at the beginning, all the way to the end, is just like, dude, what the hell was he thinking? Like, listen, I know everyone's more hyped up as like, well, we signed Daniel Jones and that was a Gettleman. We signed Dexter Lawrence and that was a Gettleman. We signed this. I'm like, dude, those guys are stars. Like, you can't fuck up
Right.
that order and that high pick and that. Like, we're talking about all the like, even Aldrin Smith, I think, right? He's out the league at this point. You know, like he's just out of here. You know what I mean? So Dave Gettleman had a lot of misses before he could hit one. Now, every dog in the, what do they say? Every dog finds a steak dinner in the garbage, from time to time, right?
Something
So
like
he
that.
found
Yeah.
the steak dinner, right? He found the steak dinner, but. Guess what? There's a lot of days he went hungry, right? So
Show me
I
how
can't
many
give Dave
hits.
Gettleman credit. Not
Show
at all.
me, show me how many hits he had outside of the top 10. Like,
I just want to say that I went through this on my Instagram stories last year because I was getting DMs from people who said, "Stop shitting on Dave Gettleman. He doesn't deserve it." And I was like, "Oh, honey, I'm going to tell you why he does deserve it." I went through every single one of his 32 draft picks, and I would say he hit on a quarter of them. There were 8 of them that were either re-signed by the Giants or are like good players in the league. Out of 32, I'm
That's
like, I would have
And-
been fired from my job if I only did a quarter of the work that I was supposed to be doing.
And over his tenure, I would bet that he had the most draft equity of any GM during that span. He was in the top picks every year.
Yeah.
No other GM had that. So
Yeah.
get out of here with that. And I would say the free agency wise, he brought in Bradbury, who was a very good corner who still had plenty of juice left. Obviously, he's still playing at a high level. Other than that, like the guy handed out horrendous contracts left and right.
Yeah.
Nate Solder, Kenny Galladay. He fucked up. He fucked us up. He drove us to the bottom of the NFL barrel. I don't want to hear a positive word about him ever again.
No, me either.
You just said those names, and I just barfed a little bit in my mouth. I don't know if you saw it, but Kenny Galladay and Nate Solder is like the worst signing in New York Giants history ever. But
and don't forget, he hired Joe Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he
and
was
fired Pat
responsible.
Shermer. Yeah.
Yeah, and Pat Shermer. Never mind. I ain't even gonna get into.
Yeah,
that.
let's.
Yeah, we can talk about this.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
I'm getting upset.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the good stuff. I don't know if you guys saw this, but on Pat McAfee's show today, he spoke very highly of the Giants and said that they deserve some more credit, that Daniel Jones looked amazing in the preseason, and he thinks that they're going to have a really good year. And I personally, I think you guys probably agree with this. We like it when the Giants are underdogs, right? Like, keep sleeping on us, keep saying we're not that good, the coaching staff is not that good, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. But I do appreciate a little bit of respect from someone, especially like Pat McAfee, because typically you don't hear good things about the Giants. And also another thing I noticed, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, is a couple ESPN people, I will not name them, tweeted after the game that Dable and Shane did a really good job with the first team offense, and they looked really good. And every single comment was, why don't you give Daniel Jones some credit? Because Brian Dable was not on the field executing. And I just think that Daniel Jones, for a lot of people, can do no right. And I don't think that's fair. I think he could take us to a Super Bowl. He could be MVP. He could do everything. And people will still say it was the coaching.
Yeah.
Or whatever they want to say.
I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of like what Eli went through, right? We didn't know, like a lot of people were on off with Eli Manning until he won 2 Super Bowls. And even then, winning those 2 Super Bowls, still people were questioning, how good of a quarterback he was. They're still questioning if he can get into the Hall of Fame, right? So I think this Daniel Jones just has that because it's the New York market. And it's just easy for anybody in the media to whoop up on it, the New York market, right? Because don't get it twisted. New York market is huge. So if they say anything about the Giants, which is the pristine team in the sport, they're going to get clicks. They're going to get all the likes and etc. Yeah. So it's just what Daniel Jones just has to go through. Now, credit to Brian Daboll. I get why they're using it because we wasn't sure about Daniel Jones when the Joe Judge era was there. We wasn't sure. We were more about, what Shermer could do. We was like, all right, Shermer could develop him to be something good. And then they let him go. Then we seen him in the Joe Judge. We're like, yo, we don't think we got our guy. You know what I mean? So credit to Brian Daboll for making Daniel Jones look as good as he looks right now. But, of course, it's the execution. He's getting better as years goes on in the league. He's smart. You know what I mean? So it's just give it a little bit of time. I just think it goes both hands. You know what I mean? But credit to Daboll as well. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely not one without the other. Like Patrick Mahomes is insanely talented. He also has a Hall of Fame head coach and a Hall of Fame tight end for that matter. Like it's never one guy by himself. It was the Brady Belichick debate for all those years, right? Like it takes both to get it done. So I don't care how it happens, and I'll gladly entertain those conversations. If we're talking about why do the Giants have so much success, like that'll be different for us. But Daniel Jones, I think he can do it. I think he can lead us deep into the playoffs. And if the Giants keep getting better and stay healthy, why can't they compete? Why not?
Yeah.
I have more faith in this coaching staff in Dable than I do about any player, and that matters, right? Like
Mhm.
you need both, and I don't know. He's got us going in the right direction. And Dable, I think, is the one thing Giants fans can agree on at this point is that we have our coach, and Dable is slowly but surely getting more and more respect around the league, where ex-players are coming out and saying about his genius, how he would set up plays for the second half. Like he's got that mind that you want. And I think there's only a handful in the NFL right now who are like truly building offenses that are like, fuck, that's smart. Like they're setting up plays. Like they're literally scripting these plays to set you up. And like we talked about it at camp, the first day we went there, the attention that Waller is getting. And I think I got to find it. I was looking at it under my account. I think I tweeted it out under Revival. But I was like, Bellinger is going to eat this year because Waller needs so much attention that Bellinger is going to be the forgotten man. And like he's going to roll in for touchdowns. And you saw it in preseason. Like that first drive ended with a Bellinger touchdown. That was exactly what we saw. That Waller was double teamed. If you watch that play, Waller was double teamed. Bellinger just rolled in. And that's what's going to happen. That's the brilliance of having a coach that can set you up.
And listen, and Bellinger was cooking last season too, right? Like Bellinger before he got, injured, before he injured his eye, he was cooking before that. It was like, okay, we got something here. Then he got injured, unfortunately. But again, like that guy can play. Like he can play. He can block and he can play. So we can't really sleep on Bellinger at this point either, even though we got Waller. So I hate everything you're saying. If I agree.
Bellinger is a solid all-around tight end. Like I don't think he has a flaw to his game, but he's not like this elite weapon that you necessarily have to scheme for. He'll just make every play he's supposed to make. He's a pro already. But Waller is a dude that you just have to focus on. And like that's why I'm excited, man. We didn't even see Waller and Saquon on the field at the same time.
I know. I can't wait. So this is the perfect segue to my next section where I want to talk about predictions. So who do you think is going to have the most receptions? I personally think it's going to be Paris Campbell. I think he's going to be sneaky. And I think that he's going to be one of those guys that on the 3, 4, 5 yard plays and the slants, that's who Jones is going to go to. It's only because I'm worried about Shep. I'm worried about the health. So I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be. And I think that Campbell's going to be that guy.
Is this wide receivers only?
You can include the tight ends.
Because our running back was our leading receiver in terms of receptions last year. But I think it'll be Waller this year if we're including all positions. Just by the way, he's been peppered with targets every time he's on the field. You saw in the first drive, like you can't guard him. So his health is the only thing that can stop him, it seems like, because you can't guard him and he'll lead us in reception. He's going to get 7 to 10 targets a game if they keep going like this. He got 4 targets on one drive.
Yeah. I think he's going to end up with the most yards.
For sure. Hands down. Yards after catch too, but that's another debate. I'm going to stick with Saquon, man. I'm really going to stick with Saquon. And the reason why, because defenses after a while is going to kind of scheme for Waller, right? They're going to kind of scheme. So either two people are going to be open, in my opinion. It's going to be Bellinger or it's going to be Saquon Barkley. And I really do think that Saquon is going to eat. Saquon, man. Like at the end of the day, that's still Daniel Jones' safety blanket if push come to shove. In this case, the receivers can't get open because, again, we still don't have any elite receivers out there, right? They got to be kind of schemed open in a way. You know what I mean? In some cases, unless it's Hyatt. Hyatt is the only one I think that can break open a defense any particular time, and as long with Waller as well. But if they scheme around him, I think Saquon's going to be that guy to get those receptions for us. Not the yardage, but definitely those receptions. I say Saquon Barkley.
And they're letting Saquon run some more routes this year. That was one thing that he talked about.
That double move. That double move, man.
It's a problem. Good luck, linebackers.
I can't wait. So, Jeff, who do you think is going to have the most yardage?
Most yards. I'm going to say Slayton.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that, F.
Because he's actually had a solid floor for receiving yards, and when he hits, he usually hits for big plays. So I'll take the yardage with Slayton.
Okay. Eli, are we sticking with Waller?
No, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to, right? So yeah, I like that. I like that. You know what? Because he had me almost change my mind a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I was like Slayton, like why didn't I think of that? Because the deep balls and etc. But Waller
Yeah.
can do the same as well, especially down the seam, right? So I'm still gonna go with Waller. I think he'll have the most yardage for sure. And I even say this. I'll throw a monkey wrench in there. I think he'll have the most touchdowns too.
I mean, Waller could be that dude. He could easily
Yeah.
be that triple crown dude for the Giants.
I really think he will.
If he stays healthy all year, he'll probably be the yardage guy too. I just wanted to be cute and come up with a different answer. But like, it's Waller is this offense, and like for Saquon to be a secondary option is such a good thing for the Giants offense. And then you still have Daniel Jones' legs. Don't forget.
Well, and then they also have Hyatt and Shep and Wan'Dale and Hodgins. It's just like, I mean, if this line,
pick your poison.
You're right. Like, what more could you ask for?
We
All
got
right.
depth.
Speaking of DJ, what do you think the over is going to be on his rushing yards? Do you think he's going to go as many as 700 like he did last year?
I think
I say under.
Yeah.
I'm taking the under.
I think so too.
I think it'll be closer to 500. I think they want to get that a little more under control, but it's still going to be part of the game. But I just like against Minnesota, they were like, we're going to do whatever we have to do to win this game. Like it's win or go home. So sorry, Daniel, we're running you into oncoming traffic basically as often as we want. Like you saw when the game was on the line, they gave it to Jones because there is no stop. That read option is just deadly when you have Saquon and now Daniel Jones' legs, or he could pull it and look at Hyatt screaming across the field or Waller. Like there's options. There's a play that Baldy broke down where there was legit 4 options for Daniel Jones to get a first down or more. And like his legs included, maybe 5 options. There are dudes open everywhere. And like, yes, it's Carolina, but it's also like just a little thing of like something to come from this offense. And it was built off that play action.
I totally agree. I'll definitely take the under in DJ because we kind of seen it too a little bit of preseason, right? He was throwing first. Like he ran unless he had to try to extend plays. Like I see Daniel Jones now wanting to extend a play instead of just taking off and running. You know what I mean? So we're seeing that him develop now into that quarterback that we need him to, like that pocket guy and take off when need be. You know what I mean? So definitely got to take the under, man. And they're not going to have Daniel Jones run a million plays. And like you said, Hef, unless it really matters. But
you don't want him rushing for over 700 yards again.
No,
definitely not.
That's cool that he did it.
Too many other options this year.
Yeah, exactly. We want to get the deep ball into this, and not put our quarterback in risk all the time.
All right, last one for the predictions. DJ over 17.5 passing touchdowns.
Way over.
Yeah, way over than that. Way.
Okay.
I got him 35. I'm gonna take 35.
Wow,
I'm gonna give it a number.
Did you say 35?
Yeah, I'm gonna 35, man.
Passing only.
That's serious. Passing only.
I say 35.
That's Patrick Mahomes level. I think Patrick Mahomes is the only guy that went over that last year.
I really do think Daniel Jones is gonna have like an MVP performance this season. I really do think so. Like you know how Tiki Barber was like, hey, he's gonna be top 5 in the league. I think he can achieve that. I really do think Daniel Jones is gonna be that guy, MVP type level. You're gonna see it, man. I'm just convinced. I just see it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You heard it here first, people.
They will. First. They will correct you if you're wrong. But if you said the over, like 15 was like not nearly enough. So like if you said the over under was like 24 or like 25, I would have to like really think about it. But I think he gets closer to that 25 mark for me.
No, he got too many options to me. He has way too many options.
He will have some rushing touchdowns, and and
Saquon's going to have rushing touchdowns.
Saquon's going to have his. Yep. And hopefully, I don't know. I think 25 is closer, but he'll still have 5 rushing touchdowns, so he might get to 30 total. And I'd sign up for that right now.
Yeah.
Even in the 30 mark, right? Like you say, he can possibly get to 30
with rushing too. Yeah. Rushing touchdowns.
Okay. Never mind. All right. I guess to be continued.
Listen, if you're right. Good on you, man. Like,
I'll take
it. Yeah, I think we'd all love that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Sign me up.
All right. Last section, we're going to do a little rapid fire this or that.
Oh,
all
shit.
Right? Hyatt or Slayton?
Hyatt.
Oh, Hyatt.
With no context. You just said 2 names.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
All right.
If you had to pick one, you only have one option.
All right, no questions can be asked, right?
Then you know what? I'll take Slayton. I'll take Slayton.
Okay.
I'll take
Shep or Campbell?
Oof. I love
Campbell.
Shep, man. I love Shep. That's just my personal thing. I just love Shep.
All right. If they keep a 7th wide receiver, Beasley or Crowder?
Beasley.
Easily.
Easily Beasley.
This is probably an easy one, but I had to throw it in here. Tommy DeVito or Tyrod?
Tyrod.
QB2 DeVito. QB2 DeVito.
The best thing is Giants fans love DeVito,
Of
and
course
I'm
they do.
so here for it. It's
Of course they do.
awesome. It's so much
The guy
better
can play,
than the
man.
Tom
The guy
Glennon
can
days.
play.
Look, he's
He can
going to be
play.
dressed on the sidelines. You're allowed to have a third QB dressed up. That won't count against your roster spot. So
Yep.
he's going to be there. You never know.
Yeah.
He can play.
I
He can
hope
play.
to God we don't see him once, but you
Same.
never know. Yeah.
Only preseason. Only preseason, bro.
His
Yeah.
Do your
last
thing
game was
preseason.
this
Preseason
week.
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Joe Shane or Brandon Brown?
Oh my God. Really? Is there a drink? Is there can we do that to skip it?
Ring the bell option.
I'm going to say Joe
Yeah.
Shane because Joe Shane got Brandon Brown here.
Yeah,
Fair.
I'm with you, Hef.
Okay.
Whatever Hef just said.
A smart,
your way
a
around
truly
that.
smart person surrounds themselves with smart people.
There you go.
There
That
you go.
guy.
Yeah.
That guy. Now who's the leader?
Yeah. I drop bombs once in a while.
Yeah, I see.
That was a good one. Belton or Pinnock?
I think Eli.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought Eli was frozen. Belton. I love the camp that Belton is having so far, so I'll say Belton. And I realize this is rapid fire, so I shouldn't be talking this much. So
All right, Pinnock.
Okay. McFadden or Beavers?
Beavers.
yeah, I guess I don't really feel strongly about either right now.
Yeah,
Beavers.
to be honest, yeah.
Okay, fair. Cowboys or Eagles?
I mean, what are we saying? Who do I want? to
Why are
burn
these
it?
questions so tough for us
Well,
right now?
Who do
well,
you
this
hate
one-
less?
What do I do with that?
Guys, I had to put you on the spot
Oh.
somehow.
Cowboys.
I'm going to say Eagles in case the underlying question is like, who do you want to burn in hell more?
Got you.
That's really where I was going.
See,
with
that's
that.
what
Okay.
I was taking. That's why I was taking Dallas. I was like, well, the better one that I have to pick will probably be Dallas because I can't stand the Eagles.
I
See
just
how
hate them.
you-
I hate them both so deep down.
Deep in my plums.
Deep down.
I know. All right,
Deep
so
down in my plums.
2 more questions. The first one: do we beat the Cowboys week 1?
Hands down. Yep.
I'm saying yes.
Hands down.
Hell
Okay.
yeah. Hands
I'm
down.
saying yes.
I'm
it's happening.
optimistic that they will.
The tide is turning. It's Mike McCarthy's first game calling plays. Dak is coming off a really bad season. And I
Tony
think
Pollard's coming off an injury.
Yep. And even if he's okay, he's good. But I just feel like this Jones to Waller connection is going to be too much. It's the first game where we'll have the whole offense out there. The whole tape will be out
Yeah.
there. Open
Everyone
up.
healthy.
Let's go. Yeah.
Mhm.
Can I get a score prediction from you, Adriana? Let me get a score prediction.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's what I like. See, got you in a trap now.
All right. This is going to be optimistic. 31-13.
Wow.
That's an ass whooping.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay.
Listen, I feel like if the
Yeah.
offense can put it together, they can put it together and they're going to go off. Like there's no in between. I think they're either going to kill it and they're going to put up a ton of points or they're not. But I feel like our defense is going to be able to hold their offense to not a lot of points.
I'm going to say 27-20 Giants.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that by a touchdown.
It feels right. It feels
It
right.
feels deep down
Okay.
in my plums.
Deep down.
We'll find out soon enough. And
Oh,
lastly,
inside jokes.
what is this team's record come the playoffs?
I'm not going to be a coward. I'm going to stick with my
Yeah, I'm about to say
original,
you have to.
my high level prediction, which is 11-6. Sorry,
Mhm.
I'm high on the Giants and other stuff, and I'm going to say 11-6 New York Giants.
See, I've been saying 11-6 because Hefe has, but me and Spiro broke this down in New York Revival. We have 10-7.
That is way more
Um,
likely.
Yeah, we have 10-7, and Hefe has 11-6. But you know, we ride with our brother on New York Revival, so 11-6 it is.
My man.
Well, count me in because I think they're going to be 11-6. I think they're going to sweep the Cowboys and they're going to split with the
Ooh.
Eagles.
Woo! That's a hot take. All right. Okay,
Bold
I like
prediction.
this. I like this here.
I mean,
I like
because
this show.
we play the Eagles twice deep in the season, so we may be playing for something and they may not. You never know. But if you're saying we beat the Eagles straight up, then give me some of that. But I don't think it's
I'll
going to
take
happen yet.
Nah,
We'll see.
nah.
We'll find out soon enough.
It's a better
Yes.
roster in the league, but we'll see.
I know, but we can do it. If everyone's healthy, I think we really have a good shot at beating them at least once this year.
We'll put up a better fight than last year. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, God.
If everyone's
I hope
healthy,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's funny how we gotta be like, everyone has to be healthy.
I
It's not like, can
know.
we beat them? It's like, if
No.
everyone's healthy, we might win. We might. It's
'Cause
not like
we're-
a definite, right?
we're
It's like, we
jaded.
might. Like, let's hope. I mean, like I said, all of us could agree, man. Philly just has that roster, man. It's probably the best roster in the league, hands down still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I think the Giants has a little ways to go. Oh, my God. Is that...
Hi, buddy.
This is going on.
We're just wrapping up the show.
Uncle Eli,
okay?
say hello. I know you get.
Can you
I'll
say
talk
go
to you later.
Giants?
Go Giant.
There you go.
Aw,
Yeah.
adorable.
All right.
So cute. All right.
Yes.
We will end on that note. Tell everyone where they can find you guys and New York Revival.
Go for it,
F-
Eli.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got
All
it.
right, cool. They can find us, man, at New York Revival on Twitter and at us on New York Revival _ on IG. You can follow me, yes, me, and only me, your boy. I am Eli Rax. Exactly how I just said it is exactly how it's spelled on all platforms. I am Eli Rax on Twitter and IG as well. So catch us there, man. And you guys can catch us every Tuesday night right here on YouTube too, man, live for your entertainment. And boy, we got some guests. She's getting the exclusive right now. We got some guests lined up for
Ooh.
you. You don't want to miss. Ugh, it's
There
looking
you
ugly
go.
for
You
the
heard it
season.
here first.
That's it. The exclusive, baby.
That was
I'm
good.
sorry, brother.
Yeah, that was a good summary. I'm not going to beat that. It's getting very loud in my house right now.
So,
But I am
and you can, you can find my brother El Jefe, right? Get F. I'm sorry.
El Jefe at Jefe Pill, JEFEPIL.
Mhm.
All right. And yeah, that's about my time, it looks like.
Yo, you know what? My brain actually just like turned off because I was like, "What the hell is this at?" Sorry, man. I was like, "Oh, you just totally calmed out on me, man." That's my day I'm having, brother. That's the day. But go Pack. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No
This
worries.
is all. Hopefully, this is fixed in post. hopefully.
Thank you for having us. You're the best,
Thank you guys
Adriana.
for joining me. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Hands down. Thank you so much for having us, man. This is fun as usual.